You know what really worries me? I see seniors every single day making the same mistakes over and over again. And they don't even realize these simple, everyday habits are stealing years from their lives. And I'm not talking about the obvious things everyone warns you about, like smoking or drinking too much, but rather these seemingly harmless little habits that fly completely under the radar. And by the time people notice the damage, it's often too late to reverse it completely. If you're over 65 and you recognize yourself in any of these 7 habits I'm about to share, you need to stop them immediately, because each one of these is quietly working against your health, your independence, and your quality of life in ways you probably never imagined. My name is Dr. Rebecca Parker, and I've worked as a physician for over 20 years. And today I focus specifically on senior health. And I can tell you with absolute certainty that the difference between seniors who thrive well into their 80s and 90s and those who struggle with chronic illness and dependency often comes down to these exact habits we're going to talk about today. You're not alone in this, because thousands of seniors across America are doing these same things right now without realizing the consequences. And the good news is that once you understand what's happening, you can start making changes today that will protect your health and your future. Maybe you've been feeling more tired lately, or perhaps you've noticed your memory isn't quite as sharp as it used to be. Or maybe you're dealing with aches and pains that seem to be getting worse, and you've been told that's just part of getting older. But I'm here to tell you that's not necessarily true, because so many of these symptoms are actually caused by these hidden habits. And when you stop them, your body has an amazing ability to heal and recover, even at 65, 70, 75, or older. The research on this is absolutely clear, and I've seen it happen hundreds of times in my own practice, where patients make these adjustments, and within weeks or months they feel like completely different people, with more energy, better sleep, clearer thinking, and less pain. Before we dive into these 7 habits, I need you to do something for me right now. And if this topic resonates with you, if you're concerned about your health and you want to protect yourself, hit that like button, because it helps other seniors across America find this critical information. And trust me, your neighbors, your friends, the people in your community, they need to hear this too. Every single day counts when it comes to your health. And the longer you wait to address these habits, the more damage accumulates in your body. And that's why we need to talk about this right now today, without delay. Let me start with the first habit, and this one surprises almost everyone because it seems so innocent, so normal that most people don't give it a second thought. But it's actually one of the most damaging things you can do to your body, especially as you age. The first habit is sitting for long periods without movement. And I know what you're thinking, because everyone sits, right? We sit to eat, we sit to watch TV, we sit to read, we sit in the car. But here's what's happening inside your body when you sit for more than 30 minutes at a time without getting up and moving around. Your blood flow slows down dramatically, and when that happens, your heart has to work harder to pump blood through your body, and your muscles aren't contracting to help push blood back up from your legs, which means blood starts pooling in your lower extremities, and this leads to swelling and discomfort. But that's just the beginning. When you sit for extended periods, your metabolism essentially shuts down, and your body stops burning calories efficiently, which contributes to weight gain, especially around your midsection. And that abdominal fat isn't just cosmetic, it's actually producing inflammatory chemicals that increase your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even dementia. According to recent studies, seniors who sit for more than 6 hours a day have a 40% higher risk of dying prematurely compared to those who sit for less than 3 hours. And that's independent of exercise, meaning even if you go for a walk every morning, if you then sit the rest of the day, you're still at risk. Your muscles start to atrophy and weaken, when they're not being used regularly. And this is especially dangerous for seniors because muscle strength is directly connected to your ability to maintain balance, prevent falls, and stay independent. From a medical perspective, what's happening is that prolonged sitting causes your body to become less sensitive to insulin, which is the hormone that regulates your blood sugar. And this insulin resistance is a major pathway to type 2 diabetes and all of its complications, including nerve damage, vision problems, kidney disease, and heart attacks. Your spine also suffers tremendously from sitting, because when you're seated, your lower back is under constant compression, and the discs between your vertebrae don't get the movement and nutrients they need to stay healthy and flexible, which leads to chronic back pain, stiffness, and even herniated discs that can press on nerves and cause shooting pain down your legs. But here's what you can do starting today. And this is so simple, it almost seems too easy, but I promise you it works. Set a timer on your phone or your watch for every 30 minutes. And when that timer goes off, stand up and move for just 2 to 3 minutes. And I'm not talking about intense exercise, just walk around your house, march in place, do some gentle stretches, reach your arms overhead, roll your shoulders, whatever feels good to your body. During commercial breaks, when you're watching TV, get up and walk to the kitchen and back, or do some simple leg lifts while holding onto the back of a chair. And if you're reading a book or working on a puzzle, set a timer so you remember to take these movement breaks throughout the day. The science behind this is fascinating because when you stand up and move, even for just a couple of minutes, your muscles contract. And that muscle contraction acts like a pump that pushes blood back toward your heart and improves circulation throughout your entire body, and your metabolism kicks back into gear and starts burning calories again, and your insulin sensitivity improves, which helps regulate your blood sugar. I had a patient named Margaret who was 72 years old, and she came to me complaining about severe leg swelling and chronic fatigue. And when I asked about her daily routine, she told me she would sit in her recliner from breakfast until lunch, then move to the kitchen table for lunch, and then back to the recliner for the rest of the afternoon and evening. And she couldn't understand why her legs were so swollen and why she felt so exhausted all the time. I explained this exact concept to her, and we set up a simple plan where she would get up every 30 minutes and just walk around her house for 2 minutes. And within 3 weeks, Margaret called me with tears in her voice saying she couldn't believe the difference. And her leg swelling had reduced by about 70%, and she had more energy than she'd had in years, and she was sleeping better at night, and even her mood had improved dramatically. That's the power of this one simple change, and it's completely free. It doesn't require any special equipment, and you can start doing it right this second. Now let's move on to the second habit, and this one is absolutely everywhere in American culture. And most people don't realize how dangerous it is, especially for seniors. And that habit is eating processed foods and packaged snacks on a regular basis. I'm talking about things like crackers, chips, cookies, frozen dinners, canned soups, packaged bread, deli meats, breakfast cereals, granola bars, and all those convenience foods that line the shelves at Walmart and your local grocery store. And yes, I know these foods are convenient and they taste good and they're easy to grab when you don't feel like cooking. But here's what they're doing to your body. Processed foods are loaded with sodium, and the average American consumes almost twice the recommended daily amount of sodium. And for seniors, this is particularly dangerous because high sodium intake causes your body to retain water, which raises your blood pressure. And high blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason, because it damages your blood vessels, your heart, your kidneys, and your brain, without causing any obvious symptoms, until suddenly you have a stroke or a heart attack, or you're diagnosed with kidney failure, Research indicates that seniors who consume high amounts of processed foods have a significantly higher risk of cognitive decline and dementia, and scientists believe this is because the inflammation caused by these foods damages the delicate blood vessels in your brain and reduces blood flow to brain tissue,